The second angel pours his bowl on the sea, and it became blood as of a dead man, and every living creature in the sea died. The third angel poured out his bowl on the rivers and the springs of water, and they became blood. The fourth angel poured out his bowl on the sun, and power was given to him to scorch men with fire. The fifth angel poured out his bowl on the throne of the beast, and his kingdom became full of darkness, and they gnawed their tongues because of pain. There is the big question. How will God protect his people during this time of wrath? What is it that he will do? Revelation 7, and he cried with a loud voice to the four angels to whom it was granted to harm the earth and the sea, saying, do not harm the earth, the sea, or the trees until we have sealed the servants of our God on their foreheads. And Revelation 7 verse 4 tells us, and there were sealed 144,000. The sealed are the 144,000. These are the ones who will be protected. So who are the 144,000? What character do they have? First of all, the 144,000 live during the mark of the beast crisis that we read about in Revelation chapter 13. The 144,000 will live during the preaching of the three angels' messages that are found in Revelation 14, verses 6 to 12. The 144,000 are the church militants. They are spiritual Jews. We find that the number 144,000 is composed of 12 times 12 times 1,000. And in the Old Testament, 1,000 is a military unit. So the idea is that the 144,000 are an army. If we look at the list of the tribes that are included in the 144,000, the tribes of Dan and Ephraim are excluded. Now this is interesting because according to the Bible, the tribes of Dan and Ephraim were idol worshipers. So the Bible, the book of Revelation, is telling us that idol worshipers will not be included in the 144,000. And this group reminds us of the 7,000 faithful of Elijah's day. The seal of God will be a mark of protection. Remember, in the book of Exodus, the Israelites were protected by God during the plagues that were poured out on the Egyptians. They were protected by the blood of the Lamb. We read in Exodus 12, verse 13, when I see the blood, says God, I will pass over you, and the plague shall not be upon you. We also read in Ezekiel chapters 8 and 9 about a protective mark. In Ezekiel 8, God showed Ezekiel all the idolatry or the abominations that were occurring in his temple. And then in chapter 9, God tells Ezekiel, behold, 6 men came, and every man had a slaughter weapon in his hand. So 6 angels from God with weapons came to the city. And Ezekiel 9 verse 4 says, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and cry for all the abominations that are done in the midst thereof. And then go after this man through the city and smite or kill. Let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity. Slay old and young, maids and little children and women. But come not near any man upon whom is the mark. The mark on the forehead was to protect the faithful from the wrath of God. The seal in the book of Revelation also protects God's people from the 5th trumpet. We read these words, and it was commanded to the locusts that they should not hurt the grass of the earth, neither any green thing, neither any tree, but only those men which have not the seal of God in their foreheads. The seal of God will also protect the 144,000 from the 7 last plagues. Now, let's study a little bit about the seal itself. The seal is connected with the name of God. Revelation 14 verse 1 tells us the 144,000 have the Father's name written on their foreheads. So the seal is connected to the name of God. Revelation 3 verse 12 tells us, I will write upon him the name of my God and the name of the city of my God, and I will write upon him my new name. This is Jesus speaking. So the seal is God's name, the New Jerusalem, and the new name of Jesus. What does the name symbolize? Number one, the name symbolizes ownership. The 144,000 belong to God. Number two, the name symbolizes character. The 144,000 reflect God's character. And number three, the name symbolizes destiny. The 144,000 are destined to be citizens of the New Jerusalem. The seal of God is also connected to the law of God. God has his own seal or mark of authority. The seal of God is found in his law. Isaiah 8 verse 16 tells us, seal the law among my disciples. Ezekiel 20:20, hallow my Sabbaths. They will be a sign between me and you, that you may know that I am the Lord your God. So the seal is connected with the Sabbath commandment, the fourth commandment. And it's very interesting because the fourth commandment is exactly in the middle of the 10 commandments. In ancient times, in the times of the Bible, when people would make a covenant, they would always place a seal over the covenant as a mark that this covenant was authentic. And here you see some actual archaeological artifacts of ancient covenants. And you will notice that the seal has been placed in the middle of the First of all, the 144,000 do not worship the beast. John says in Revelation 20, verse 4, I saw the souls of them which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands. The 144,000 refused to drink the wine of Babylon. The text tells us that Babylon makes all the nations drink the wine of the wrath of her fornication. But the 144,000 refuse to drink this abominable wine of fornication. The 144,000 are the ones who come out of Babylon. I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, that you receive not of her plagues. Now, all of this symbolic language stresses the importance of loyalty, fidelity, purity to God and to the Lamb. It speaks of keeping the covenant and not breaking the covenant. It's kind of like a marriage. When we enter into a marriage covenant, we seek to be faithful to that marriage covenant. And so the 144,000 are like the bride of the Lamb, and she will remain faithful no matter what. Revelation 19 tells us the marriage of the Lamb is come, and his wife hath made herself ready. And to her was granted that she should be arrayed in fine, clean, and white robes. So fine linen, clean and white. In other words, the bride is pure. She has kept herself pure. She has not fornicated with the harlot, so that she may be ready when her husband comes. The 144,000 keep their garments clean. Revelation tells us, blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garments, lest he walk naked and they see his shame. These are they which follow the Lamb, whithersoever he goeth. These were redeemed from among men, being the firstfruits unto God and to the Lamb. In their mouth was found no guile, for they are without fault before the throne of God. The 144,000, furthermore, are part of the remnant, so they also have the same characteristics of the remnant. They keep the commandments of God, they have the gift of prophecy, and they have faith in Jesus. The 144,000 are the ones who come out of great tribulation. These are they which came out of great tribulation and have washed their robes and made them white in the blood of the Lamb. The 144,000 are written in the book of life. Daniel 12 verse 1 says, at that time, thy people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the book. The 144,000 endure until the end. Revelation 14 verse 12 tells us, here is the patience or the endurance of the saints, the perseverance of the saints. Matthew 24:13 tells us, but he that shall endure until the end, the same shall be saved. The 144,000 are before God and his throne. After this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude, which no man could number, of all the nations, kindreds, peoples, tongues, stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes and palms in their hands, and cried with a loud voice, saying, salvation to our God, which sitteth upon the throne, and unto the Lamb. Therefore are they before the throne of God, and serve him day and night in his temple, and he that sitteth on his throne shall dwell among them. The 144,000 sing a new song of victory. I saw, as it were, a sea of glass mingled with fire, and them that had gotten the victory over the beast, and over his image, and over his mark, and over the number of his name, standing on the sea of glass, having the harps of God. Here it's very clear. The ones who will be victorious will be the ones who have victory over the beast and his image and his mark. The ones who are faithful to God, the ones who do not worship the beast, these are the ones who will be part of this group singing this song. And the Bible continues, they sing the song of Moses, the servant of God, and the song of the Lamb. Just as the Israelites sang a song after they were liberated from Pharaoh and his army, so the 144,000 will be liberated by Michael, Jesus the Lamb, and they will sing a song of victory over the beast, over the image, over the mark, and over the name of the beast. They shall hunger no more, neither thirst any more, neither shall the sun light on them, nor any heat. For the Lamb which is in the midst of the throne shall feed them, and shall lead them unto living fountains of waters. And God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes. And they shall see his face, and his name shall be in their foreheads. In summary, in order to survive the coming wrath of God, we must receive the seal of God in our foreheads. Only one group will be sealed. And this is the text which summarizes the 144,000. Here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus. Brothers and sisters, wouldn't you like to be in the group that is going to be sealed? My appeal to all of us, brothers and sisters, is that we give our lives to Jesus, and that we allow his Spirit to seal us, and that we invite other people to come to Jesus, that they may also be sealed, so that we will be prepared for what is coming on the earth. Can we pray? We have a word of prayer.
Yes, we can we wait until we will have a closing prayer, closing song, and then you will come and give the closing prayer. But thank you so much for that powerful message, Dr. Leone. What a wonderful message. I pray that, I trust that we'll study more about the 144,000 and their character, their characteristics, and make it our purpose to be in that number when the Lord appears in the clouds of heaven. And now I would like to ask Brother Jake to close us out with a closing prayer, a closing song, and then Elder Leone will come and close us out with prayer.